it say REC record?
Yeah.
Okay, it's recording right now. Okay, so Janie and Al, this is for you. I made this beautiful dinner for Izmira and myself. This is salmon from about a year ago, but beautifully prepared Indian style. This one is a sole, a fresh sole, and I picked the fresh sole because it's very clear, and I used to debone Dover sole for customers at the Carlton Towers. This is just for show, but there's a reason for that. Anyway, so what you do, can you come in for a close-up, babe? Is you take a knife and a fork, and what you want is, this is your whole fish, and what you want to do is like separate all the extra stuff that's just for show. Just move it aside, get a little bowl for your bones, and whether it's salmon or trout or Dover sole like this, first thing you want to do is start with the head. You want to go underneath the gills here, just behind it, and you want to take your fork and a knife, or a fork and a spoon, which is what I used to do, and just cut around there with your, you see the bones there? You want to take that and just move it aside. Actually, this one I'm going to move. I want to keep the head for show purposes. Then you want to separate the tail. Yep. Take the tail, put it aside. So, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. So, the trick to this is just having the body of the fish here, and this is the top of the fish with I think it's called the dorsal fin. You see the big part here, and this is the lower fin here. So what you want to do is, let's do the bottom or the top, doesn't matter. You just start cutting with your fork or your knife, and can you zoom in a little closer, babe? You see the little bones in there? You can just use your fork and you can just like grab them and push it out. Like that, exactly. You see, there's a part where it separates, you can see it's clean, and there's a part where there's lots of little bones. And you don't want to take too much because you're going to be taking meat with it too then. And if you just take your knife or your spoon and you just push away like that, away from you. So that is all like waste. So you want to gather that up, get rid of that. You want to keep it nice and clean, and you can do this at the table when everyone's watching. And then you want to do the top part of the fish. You do the same thing and just pull away from you. Oh, you can see it's like pulling. You have to cut in with your fork or your knife, and again, just come over top, babe, and you can see where the bones separate. If you see the little tiny little bones here, they separate quite well. There. Okay, now we got a nice clean job. Gather that up, and Mother would probably eat this, but I'm not going to. I'm not good enough. I don't want these bones in my mouth. But lots of little fine bones. And basically what's left is the body of the fish. The tail's been cut off, the head's been cut off, and you're ready to basically serve it. All you got to do is, there's an imaginary line, but if you look, there's like a line for the middle of the fish, and you just take your knife or your edge of your spoon, it's like a point, and you just push into the fish. And you can see how it separates. And if it's well cooked, you just take your fork underneath to hold the bone, and you slide the fish off. Oh, this is just coming apart just like crazy. You gently push it off like that. Oop, you can get the bone off. And gently push off the other bit of the fish just like that. So now you have the bottom of the fish and the bone with a spine on top, and then you have flesh and flesh. And what you do is you take your fork and you just, it's not a good example, but you just kind of lift it like this. Oh, it should, if it's like bass, it's going to come off in one piece, just like that. You slide your knife or your spoon underneath it, and it should lift off in one piece. This is very soft, so it's not lifting off in one piece, but it's still easy to find all the bones. So for the most part, you can see most of the bones are taken off. Doesn't matter if there's a few left. That's gelatinous, you can leave that. Just be careful with any big bones, you take them out. Okay, so now that's done. So all you do is you take your top fish and you put it back on top of the lower part of the meat. I'm making a bit of a mess here because it's very soft. It's over sole. But you put it back on there, just like that, and then you garnish it back up however you want, like that. Let's put it. And if you want, you can put the tail back on. Where's the tail? I don't know, I can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you put the tail back on just for show, and you put the head back on. Sorry for using my hands, but that is how you debone a fish. You do all this last part with a spoon and a fork. But you can see there's no bones. These two parts are waste, just for show. And there's your fish. Just move over here where the salmon is. This is just like to show you with the salmon. These are fillets, and this one actually goes underneath the other one. But this is where you would like actually take off like the top part of the bones, same as over here. Just zoom over here as well, babe. Right here we took off the bones, so it's the same thing here. You take off the bones underneath and on top, and then you cut down the middle like this, and then you would just cut right through, and then you just slide it off the bone. There'd be a bone underneath here normally, but these are fillets, so I'm kind of cheating here. But you slide them off, take your bone out like that, and then you just put this back on top of the fish, and there you would have it. But these are fillets. So back to the over sole. There you are.
Ta-da!
I hope you like this, Al and Jenny. Okay, and you learn. Great. Okay. Yeah, just press it.